consistently raised the concern of people that own their homes and do not properly pass on the property through a will or an estate or something like that, thinking, hey, that's for people that are wealthy. This is a program that you all approved our application for, and it gets rolled into the MOU. The timing of this coincides with the fact that, if you recall, we've awarded the FEC management to United Way. And so the counselors are now employees of United Way. To get them back up and fully functional, the Cities for Financial Empowerment requires that we have the MOU in place. It happened to just expire right at the same time. But we needed to have that contract in place with United Way, which is why we're doing it now.
Mike, do we have any data of how many people they've served already?
We do, and I can get you all of that. And specifically, it is CFE's database that we use for that. So that and the training are the two things that we access through this MOU. But yeah, what time you want to look at the last year, or what you want to what's
so
what's
I know this
informative for you?
transition in United Way has it now, right? And United Way is over transitioning. They're doing
Correct.
that. So just seeing so that people can see how many people are being served, even in demographics that are coming in. I think it's a phenomenal program.
Yeah.
No question about that. But just so that we know, the people that are coming in and making sure they're being served.
Rafiki Fulgence is our FEC program manager on the city side, and he will pull together some information that I'll share with all of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So once we're up and running, when all of this gets resolved, how about letting the community know that this is available to them? How are you promoting this?
So we do have built into both the budget for the United Way, and then through this $50,000 grant that we got some money there as well for marketing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will you have languages available?
I believe they use Language Line. They have had multilingual people on staff, so look to serve it a few different ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm all set.
Yeah. Okay.
Commissioner, where is the language for the MOU?
Oh, they just got it.
I did get it around 4 o'clock after the book was sent out. I'll send it to all of you all.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Okay. It is the language is basically the same language from our previous MOU. That's I believe has got incorporated what's in the short title here around the legacy planning. But we had it's the draft that CFE provides for us, and Law did a thorough review on it for us, so that we're not asking for anything that's wildly different than you've approved previously.
Just different contractors.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
So in the transitioning where we were not operational, right?
Correct.
So then we don't owe retroactive to nothing.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
We don't owe any retroactive anything, money
No,
to anyone?
No, and there's no, with the way the MOU operates, it's really the permissions for accessing the training and the database in exchange for our commitment that is the system we will use.
Okay.
And then the 50,000 is a separate grant, but the timing of it means that it's appropriate to roll it into the MOU because it's an additional service that we'll provide.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, councilors.
Councilor Majuk?
Yes. No. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam President. I have item 11. Neil Burke, how great to see you.
Good to see
Happy New
everyone.
Year.
Happy New Year. Item 11 is a contract adjustment to change the vendor's name. They were acquired by a different company, as well as the amount of the contract. And so this is equipment that serves the emergency signal preemption system that allows fire trucks to interface with the traffic signals, basically get them where they're going as fast as possible.
Any questions?
Neil, I just want some clarification with Catherine Conrad and Law
Sure.
About the name. We thought that the name was still staying the same as Global Traffic, and that this other, was it Myo Vision or whatever it was?
Yeah,
Like
absolutely. We'll double check with them. We got some information yesterday, which I think I shared, but if you want me to get with Catherine, I can as well. It sounds like,
what is it? Who is the company?
They
we're
were
contracted?
GTT, then they were bought by the company Myovision, but they've retained GTT as a DBA or something similar for their contracts.
Biovision is the owner of the company.
Yes.
All right, that's what you wanted me to clarify.
I know, it was confusing to wade through.
So you're changing the name and you're adding the contract to be 5 years with one 5-year renewal option and increasing.
Yes, same terms as before, those terms just weren't in the original
Those
ordinance.
terms was not in the original ordinance, so that's what we want to make sure that we get it in this one.
Yes, and we worked with Jenna to make sure that the contract periods are right as well as the start dates. So agreed, it's good to clean it up.
Okay, then I'll translate that to law.
Thank you.
Thanks, Neil. Yeah. Any other question? Nope. I'm all set, Madam President.
Councilor Montour for Erin Ridge.
Thank you, President Paniagua. Saisha, you're stuck with me. Councilor Ehrenreich has items 12 through 17.
Saisha Burr, Commissioner of Parks. Quickly back to Rashida, Councilor Cowell. The item that you had was a grant specifically for McChesney to be used for youth, sound and music, and seniors. Whatever happens in that building. The system is shot. We needed a new one. There was an opportunity to apply for a grant, and so.
Awesome.
Okay, just to
I
clarify.
thought it said the Cecil Center.
It's Magnarelli.
Does say that.
Magnarelli and.
Magnarelli.
Magnarelli. Sorry, I call it McChesney. Sorry,
Yeah.
Magnarelli Center.
So
Yeah.
everything is correct.
Yes.
Yes, right.
it is.
We us park kids call it by the park name,
I know.
right?
Magnarelli.
Magnarelli, yeah.
Yeah.
McChesney.
Item 12 is an agreement with Elite Gaming for services related to instructional program at both sites, Southwest and Wilson, for the new esports gaming suites. We wanted professionals to run programming for the youth and potentially adults soon in our centers.
Saisha, I think this program is phenomenal. I had a chance to see the one in Wilson Park and see the kids play. They made a storage room into something beautiful. So I commend the team. As we're doing this and moving forward, I know previously we talked about making sure other parks can have this possibility too, maybe Sheila or something that we can make arrangements to make sure that other parts of the city can have this too.
Yeah, so Southwest will come live February.
February.
And then
Okay.
we're looking at smaller, like just horse gaming stations at maybe McChesney or a few others. so.
Or Sheila too,
Yeah.
right? Okay. All right. All right. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, 13.
13 is an agreement with Onondaga County Resource Recovery Agency from Mocha, and I believe we have someone here to speak about it if there's questions. It's battery recycling program. It's important that we recycle our batteries and not throw them in the garbage because they can combust and start fires, not just in our homes, but in our trash trucks as well. So this is an opportunity to set up some stations in our centers so that neighborhood folks have the ability to recycle their batteries appropriately.
So I do have a concern with this because of the potential for a fire or combustion. Is this going to be located within the building or just on the property?
Hi, I'm Kristen Lawton. I'm the Director of Recycling at Okra, and so we've been working collaboratively with parks for some time to take a look at exactly where are the best places for these. So they will definitely be indoors. They will be in areas that are only open during the hours that the community centers are open, and they will be. We also be helping staff to understand what's going in them and have safety measures in place already. We've been operating a similar program at area Wegmans stores for more than 20 years. So they're a tested and true in other areas as well already.
So if they get dropped off and you know, the parks are usually within business hours.
Yes.
And people go home, leave batteries in there. What happened? Do they
So-
just get dropped off and they get left overnight in the?
So yes, they will stay overnight, much like they do in our existing kiosks that we have at area Wegmans stores and hardware stores. But what happens is we have a regular collection cycle. So we have a driver that is going to come and collect all of the batteries. Whatever schedule works well for the parks, we kind of have them in different places, and depending on the volume that comes in, we collect accordingly. So right now at Wegmans, we do it weekly. So, whatever, we'll kind of figure out what works for you guys and adjust to that.
So why wouldn't you expand to more grocery stores where there's more people who's responsible for battery drop-off instead of centers where there's more youth than anything.
So one of the pieces, the reason we started looking into this is that we received a grant from the Department of Energy, and a facet of that is expanding our footprint. I mean, we really have, our footprint right now is very suburban. We have one city location, and it's in the Civic Center. So we were looking to go to places where families and residents would be coming on a regular basis, children, seniors, so that we would make it visible, so that we could do not only the education of you can drop them off here and this is a good place to put them, but also to help people understand batteries in general and learn how to properly use them at home. There's all kinds of education that we, Okra, will be doing as part of this grant to educate the community as a whole about how to properly deal with them at home so that they don't run into any issues with them.
The only thing concern, and then Marty, you could go ahead, is that I think it's a great idea as far as we need to make sure we're doing it appropriate about the batteries, but I'm just worried about what else is gonna come with it, right? Because once you give people outlet, like, oh, you can drop a battery, they're gonna drop off other things, so we have to make sure that it's in a right spot and it's gonna be, you know.
It needs to be controlled, right?
Controlled,
Yeah.
because if, I could just see it going into a whole nother area
Level.
where, you know, you're gonna have to pick up are you guys gonna pick up the other stuff if they drop it off too? Like TVs and stuff, because I can see that happening.
So I think we have seen that in the places we already have this, we do a lot of outreach and education, and we also have decaling on the containers that are very clear about what's accepted and what is not, and that is an education point in and of itself, the kiosk, which is one of the reasons we're looking to put this in community centers as well. So yes, you are right. There may be all sorts of things that come in. That is something we actually manage already. So, you know, depending on the items, obviously, you know, most of them we are already handling as part of our collections that we do at the grocery stores. So we have a level of confidence that we'll be all right. But certainly everything is an evolution, and we're happy to work with the city as things come in and figure out how to address it.
I wouldn't have a problem if we put a drop-off right here in City Hall.
We can certainly explore that too. Yeah,
We do
sure.
that?
Yeah, we
I
could.
think that would be a good suggestion. I really think it would, because it would be in a better environment where we can check things. I think that's a suggestion we should consider.
Sure. Yeah, we'd be
All
happy
right.
to. I mean, we're looking to make this more accessible to all of our residents.
I
so.
think it would, because we have a lot of traffic every day with constituents coming to City Hall. I think it would be good. I think it would be a good start if we could do a program, and we started here at City Hall.
Or use City Hall as an option. But I want to go back to the communication and education side of things.
Sure.
Right? In which if the program like this exists, how do you make sure that the resident
undesirable items don't show up?
Right. That don't check their emails and other stuff. How do you make sure that people can take advantage of it?
So we have been doing education on this for, as I mentioned, about 20 years community-wide. And so we have our public information officer here who does a great deal of work. Not only we do emails, we have newsletters, we do advertisements that are both digital as well as traditional advertising. This is a fully funded effort through the Department of Energy. So we have a significant amount of funding that is devoted to making sure this messaging gets out into the community, and specifically to the areas where we're adding these new kiosks. That's actually a facet of the grant. I think we have more resources than we've ever had to devote to educating about this, particularly in these 4 locations that we had proposed for the city.
If you
Wait,
can, go ahead.
No, the 4 locations. Oh, I didn't look at. But the other thing is, since we're talking about you're going into parks with seniors and youth, then I would really exercise that you go have a conversation with the city of Syracuse School District. Should make sure that the
Oh, that's a great
children
idea.
know and that they know and they're on the same pathways. And then this aging and youth department too. So if there's a lot of support and you have money for that, to make sure that it's getting each age group. And making sure that it's in different languages across.
And can you, I'm sorry, you mentioned the city schools, and what was the secondary entity?
Aging and youth,
Bless
so
you.
the Onondaga County Aging and Youth, to make sure that the senior sites in those places. But the other part is the language piece, that we have all the message out in several different languages, so that people understand what's the mission and where's the assignment at. So,
Yeah, great suggestions. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kristen.
I also want to mention that the fire department has been at the meetings talking about this topic with the recycling of the batteries.
Why doesn't it go there? Now that I think about it. We can go right to the fire department. Any problems, they can just hose them on out.
I'm going to ask that we withdraw 14 and 15. I have some more work to do on that, so we're going to withdraw the bond ordinance and authorization. 16 is this is what I was speaking to, our licensing agreement with American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers. It's an annual license that we at Parks use yearly for music, as well as 17 is similar. If I can flip my page, with the Society of European Stage Authors, Composers for our annual licenses for playing music, copyrighted music in the parks and at different programs. You'll see another one later on in the year for Pops in the Park.
Any questions? Thanks, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Monto. Councilor Nave.
Thank you, Madam President. I have item 18. Commissioner Robinson, do you want to speak on this? Okay.
Councilors, Eric Ennis, Chief Development Officer. So this is the extension or the request to extend the existing agreement with VO for the micromobility program. I know that VO has been having conversations and conducting outreach with council staff as well as members of the council. But Councilor, I know that the team, particularly from VO, is more than happy to make additional information available and participate in a committee meeting. But I wanted to just get a sense if I can answer any questions now. I'm happy to do it.
I don't have any immediate questions. I believe, unless my colleagues have a question now they want to discuss.
Eric, with the contract, is there a reason to keep it the February 1? I know that happened because of an extension last year.
Yeah.
Do we bring it back to the end of the year, or?
So that's a good. I just want to. I don't want to speak out of turn. So just Joe Barry, just let me know whether or not if that's a prerogative, if the council were willing to or wanted to amend the dates, and if VO was agreeable to that. Is that something that is possible?
Yes, that's possible. Not that it matters, but February, they're off the road anyway.
Yeah.
We had been on the January 1 cycle.
Yeah, and it's very helpful. So we can raise that with VO.
From the effective date.
Last year, we had to grant an extension to get the contract in place, and now we're on a February 1 cycle.
Okay.
And
So we wanted to expire what date again?
we had been January 1.
Yeah, first of the year and taking it through the end of the calendar year.
Okay, so it's the effective January, this year.
I think we could. Well, I mean, and maybe the question is if we can backdate it pending approval, but we could backdate it to start on January 1st of 26.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what we're asking, to.
Align with the calendar
Okay,
year rather
sounds
than
good.
February to
Department,
February.
you send me another letter right quick.
Sure, we can revise that. Yeah.
So we're going to have more questions. So I'm going to hold this for a committee meeting. Hopefully by that time, we're going to hold this for now because I think there's some questions. And if Mr. Hoover, Mr. Cole Buffa could come to the committee meeting, they would be here with some statistics and they can answer our questions. So I think that would be important. Before I don't want to vote on something because I also want to continue having the input of my constituents. All right? With your approval? Thank you.
My question will wait.
Okay.
We'll wait.
All right, but what we will do in the meantime, we'll work on coordinating that meeting, and I know the VO team will make themselves available. So
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Eric. All right. Thank you, Councilor Nave. Councilor Moore.
Thank you, Madam President. I have items 19 through 22. We're going to withdraw 22. That's already been approved last year. 19 is agreement with Kraus Health Hospital for the Help People Employee Assistance Program.
Hello, Madam President Paniagua, members of the council, welcome as a chair, Councilor Moore. The two items in front of you are essential and mandatory items for firefighter wellness and safety and for our operational readiness. As you know, our firefighters work in high risk and high stress situations and environments, and these two legislation items, 19 and 20, are for to make sure our firefighters are mentally and physically fit to safely protect the community. This cross help people. This is going to be an agreement directly with the fire department to provide counseling, confidential counseling, critical incident stress support, any type of supervisory consultation, and any wellness services needed, from going on a call, doing stress debriefings. They facilitate after action situations where our firefighters need to be debriefed. When they have other types of situations going on with psychological, mental issues, we want to refer them to them. And they're currently on our critical incident stress response team, so this is a natural fit for our fire department.
Hey, Chief, this is just some more like an invoice, so as you need it, you're gonna go and do it that way. They're just added.
Yep, as needed. And we'll have a report. I'll be able to give a report to not get into any HIPAA information,
Right.
but
Nope.
I'll be able to say how much we use it.
Yep.
And
Yep.
yep, so that's what that legislation is for, if there's
And
any
then
more
this is
questions.
very specific to the fire department. The other program that we have in the city that
It's
is
more-
very similar, it's not something you
It's
can
too
engage
vague and too broad. Sometimes we need somebody, and Kraus Help is local, so they'll be able to respond and get immediate attention to our firefighters when we need. And over the past year, we've had several issues that we needed immediate help, and this agreement's going to allow us to make that happen.
And I agree. I know the police department has something very similar that they have, so
Yes, they do.
having somebody that they can relate to, or somebody that's, consistency when it comes to stuff like that is very helpful. When
Yes.
you talk about EAP, so I definitely understand.
Yep, and back in the 80s, our firefighters union, we were one of the forefront organizations to start EAP, and so Kraus was right there from the beginning. So they're very familiar with our needs, and we definitely need this agreement. So
Yeah, I'll speak in favor of that as well. As a former volunteer firefighter, had to use these services plenty of times for suicides and other situations that really stress out the responders. So
Yes.
I fully support this, yes.
Thank you.
Chief,
Yes.
two things. One of the approach that the police department use is that individuals who are utilizing services like this is that they align them with people with experience like that.
Can you repeat your
Okay,
statement?
so as firefighters are going to utilize EAP services, have we made sure that on the other end, that individuals that are delivering these services, quote unquote therapists, that they understand
Yes.
the
Kraus Help-
firefighters as opposed to just being overly therapists, therapists that are specifically.
Yep. We have a robust behavioral health program. It's like a three-pronged program with EAP, critical incident stress, and a debriefing program when we go on traumatic calls, things that our firefighters see that nobody should see that we respond to. So when we began this behavioral health program, Kraus was right with us to help us build this program. So we got away from it because of the citywide program, but we realized we need them to be more specific to our first responder needs, and that's why I'm presenting this legislation. So they are experts, and I wouldn't suggest or recommend that they provide these critical services to our firefighters if I didn't believe that they were able to not just be therapists, but they understand what our firefighters go through. They're going to understand the remedies they need to mitigate whatever situations so they can return back home to their family safely, that they can perform the duties that we're asked as a city.
Okay. When was the last time we used Kraus?
It's been a couple years. I think it's been like 2 or 3 years since we specifically used Kraus, but the city used to use Kraus as their overall before we went to E&I, and they were built into a lot of our policies and procedures. So
with this, we obviously used a service like this last year and some stuff like
Yes.
that. Do you have a data? Maybe, and again, you will remove the HIPAA information, but do you have a data that we can see how effective and how this program is being utilized by the members?
for the specific program we have in place right
No,
now.
no, just overall, just
Yep.
the
I can give you the
EAP
last.
approach.
I can give you the last data that I have with Kraus, and I can look up to figure out what our E&I usage is.
Yeah,
I can try to get the data.
Yes,
Yep.
if you can do that,
Yep.
then Rick.
Yep. And
Specifically
also,
though, specifically for firefighters.
All
I'm
right.
not looking for the entire city. Specifically for firefighters.
and I'll say this. So this is just EAP. The EAP program through the city is like one sliver of our three-pronged behavioral health program. A lot of it's, we have a peer support group where our firefighters help each other get to the resources that they need. So some of them don't go through E&I or the city's program, but this Crouse Help is going to be involved in all three prongs of our behavioral health program. So, but I'm sure I'm sure we can get data. I don't know if you need data. I don't know if you can break out the data for us.
I was going to say, I can't break it out by fire, but I can tell you about our overall usage and how that all
Okay,
works.
I guess let's start with that. But
I can tell you the last time we had an independent program.
I guess what I'm asking, Chief, is if a program like this, you have used it before.
Yes.
Right? Through the fire department.
Yes.
You've used it before. That's the data I'm looking for.
I have that data. I just got to dig it up.
That's it. And Rick, that would be great as well. If you can send us the same data overall as well. Thank you.
Okay, yep, I'll get that
Thank you,
for you.
Chief. Oh, and there's something else, right?
Okay, yep. Item 20 is to go into an agreement with Wellno Ahmed. There's some standards that make sure that our fire department has a fire physician, and Wellno is our fire physician, so they make sure we are able to do all of our workplace safety, our physicals, all of our respirator exams. They handle all of our medical program for our fire department. It's an essential mandatory program. So we already have a contract with them. This is just to extend the contract underneath the agreement we already have in place. Does anybody have any questions with that? Okay, thank you.
Donna.
Item 21 is an agreement with the police bureau of ATF.
Hi, Deputy Chief Rich Trudell. Good afternoon, councilors. As I've stated, I have item number 21, which is a renewal of our agreement with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms for overtime reimbursement for any cases that we do with ATF. We have 2 task force officers that are co-designated with ATF, so any overtime that they incur during the course of their investigations with those folks in ATF, we get reimbursement on that overtime. It's a 5-year agreement, and this is a renewal.
Do they come to us timely, those reimbursements?
They come timely? Yes.
They
Yep.
do.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Chief, is it a renewal or is it just, because I have it as a new, the letter was written as a new agreement?
My understanding is it's a renewal, but I can
I'll look back-
confirm that.
I'll look back on it in the index and see what it is and get in touch with you.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Hey, Chief, I just want to give a quick shout out to some of your staff. Actually 2 of them. Once I was at a game a couple weeks ago, and a young kid wanted to see what the vests and stuff looked like, and, the officer let him, feel like the
Sounds
vest.
great,
That
yeah.
was awesome. And the kid was just thinking he was an officer, and I thought that was great, because that's great,
Connection.
with the children. And the other thing was, I was at an incident the other day, and there was it was a really ugly incident, but I want to commend your staff because it was a little chaotic, but at the end, they were able to explain to the people in the community why they had to say what they said and why they, it wasn't just like, he made sure before they left that they explained to them the protocol and why they had to do it a certain way, and that they weren't just being, mean or, so I'm saying to you, as whatever you're doing to this new group that's coming through, they're hitting it on the nose.
Really appreciate that. Sounds a lot like the procedural justice that
Yeah.
we're teaching to our folks, and that's exactly what they should be doing. Explanations and taking their time, and certainly the community engagement with the youth is exactly what we want. So it's great to hear. Thank you. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Again, item 22 is being withdrawn.
Thank you. That's your last one, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Councilor Moore, and then we move on to Councilor Williams.
Thank you, Madam President. I've got items 23 through 26. 23, we are working to get a committee meeting on the calendar so that we can get an update around. We got one? Oh, no. Okay. We can get an update from the administration around the progress and the path forward, and to make sure that we can get our new counselors on board and up to speed with the history and the future trajectory. So we will hold that for this cycle and move on to 24.
24, Matt OJ, Commissioner of Assessment. We are looking to change 4 different assessment roles for a pair of properties, 1314 Spring Street and 11214 Burt. These are a couple instances in which on the first, there's an exemption earned but improperly removed. On the other, an inventory collection error needs to be corrected. 25. We are looking as part of the broader Public Safety Headquarters relocation project to lease 100 parking spaces on Geddes Street. This is an existing shopping plaza with some additional capacity to foresee needed employee parking. We'd like to take a lease on these 100 spaces, backfilling some of their excess inventory, getting close-in parking for police employees, and hopefully continuing to activate the street over there.
OJ, how many spaces do they have?
On site?
Yes.
I think on site itself, we have about 199. On the supplementary Magnolia lot, we have 100.
No, just this particular.
Oh, this particular lot.
Shopping center, yes.
Double this, 200 at least.
It doesn't seem like that. I mean, the price isn't bad, it's just.
Price is good.
I'm just concerned with congestion over there because I've
In terms of ingress,
visited
egress,
that.
or just like loading up the lot?
Well, I would say take a ride over there. I guess I'm thinking you guys would probably utilize more of the front lots closer to the street.
Correct, on both West Marcellus and South Geddes, we'd be taking spaces on the periphery.
Yeah, but even then, it doesn't seem like enough. It doesn't seem like a lot of, I don't know.
Where
That's just me.
do you remember where the cement blocks were? They're gonna open that up as well, and that allows to quite a few more parking spaces over there in that.
Both at the corner and
Next
closer
to
to City
next to
Hardware, the former City
Just
Hardware.
get us the number
where they used to
of
have
The total
their
space count?
current
Yeah, sure.
total spaces, yeah.
We can do that. And if, a Microsoft Paint map would help too, we can.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
If, marking up an aerial shot would help,
Yeah,
we
that
can
would
do
be,
that
that
too.
would be helpful.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
I think you're kind of.
Commissioner,
You're right.
have you looked with Fowler High School because of proximity?
We discussed that with the district early on. There are just enough times when they're at or approaching capacity at times that just don't jibe with what the workforce needs are at our new building. That co-location's a phenomenal idea. We just weren't able to make that work.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thanks all.
And 26.
Good afternoon, Evan Loving, Budget Director. Number 26 is actually, it says transfer of funds, but it's primarily a transfer of position, an IT position that was in Parks, doing IT specifically for Parks, that's moving to the IT department, so it can support the city as a whole, and the transfer of funds is the remaining salary.
But it's a transfer of funds, to that part, so it is a transfer of funds.
It is a transfer of funds. The primary purpose of
for-
the transfer of the funds is to
right.
transfer the position.
Right.
The funds are moving with the position.
There we go.
Yeah.
Any questions? All right. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilor Williams, and we move on to Councilor Jones-Rosser.
Thank you, Madam President. I have items 27 through 35.
Good afternoon, Council. Jake Dishaw, Deputy Commissioner of Code Enforcement and Zoning Administration. Just a quick reminder and update on item 27. This was a carryover, if you recall, the last council meeting, for those of you that were in the last meeting before the new year. We had a meeting scheduled with the state in person, and they canceled due to illness. We need to reconnect with them, and we hope we can have this resolved and finalized pretty soon here. So I kindly ask for a hold, and we'll keep you up to date.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, councilors. Kimone Jordan, Director of Housing and Neighborhood Planning. So items 28 and 29 are technical corrections, and items 30 through 35 are requests to have these properties transferred to the land bank once the foreclosure is complete. We'd actually like to withdraw item 30. I did have a conversation with Caitlin regarding long-term land use, so I think we just need to speak internally about what we'll do there.
Okay, so that was already a carryover that we had concerns about.
Counselor, are these all vacant lots or are these one of these?
One of them said masonry building, so I need to, oh, we did talk about that one. Yeah, so we are moving that, yeah. So, yeah, these are all, are moving. But I do want to just state, and Kimon or Michael, you guys can correct me, if I'm wrong, but anyone who finds themselves in the foreclosure process with the city, still has the ability to redeem within, as far as vacant lots, I would say 5 to 6 months. And as far as structural houses or buildings, 8 to 10 months. They still have the ability to redeem while the city is working their process. So I just want to put that out there for people who may think that, oh, it's a done deal. You still have time. And we do extensive outreach, the MBD staff, as well as myself. Rashida has also been doing some. Many of the council had done outreach as well. So even with that, once it hits this table and it moves forward, there's still months of possibility to redeem. So,
Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, that's important.
all right.
Any additional questions? All right, thank you, counselors.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilor Jones-Rouser. We're moving to Councilor Monto.
Thank you, President Paniagua. I have items 36 through 39. 36, we will hold for another meeting. 37, we're going to hold for a committee meeting in regards to Parkside Commons. 38, we will go into executive session following this meeting. And who's here for 39? Jake.
Again, quick, Jake Dishaw, Deputy Commissioner of Code Enforcement and Zoning. Item number 39 is a special use permit to establish a funeral home at 4400 South Salina Street in West Glen. I will add that this is a Muslim funeral service home. So these are very quick, short, small gatherings.
I'm glad you clarified that because I was like, I don't know what's going on here. Okay.
Yeah, you know, if you're familiar with the one that's down the
But
street.
when you say short gatherings, like, are they also doing the preparation of the body in this location?
So I'm certainly not an expert on it, but there is a body washing that happens in a brief, short ceremony. To my understanding, it's very small, direct family usually, and it's usually under an hour. But we can connect offline and I can get more info on that. What I can say is the site improvements here from a pedestrian and vehicular traffic standpoint with parking, if you know it now, it's completely paved, 100%. There's no sidewalks, there's no curbing. This is going to add all of that, and I think it'll make it a more attractive site, and it'll put a vacant building back in use, but also it'll make the traffic flow and pedestrian flow on that corner a lot more safer.
Any questions? Katie? No?
Thank you.
Funeral home just jumped out at me. I just wondered, have we always expressed like that type of business, or like normally we would say establishing a business, but why funeral home was?
So it's an actual use in the zoning code. Okay. So it was adopted with the new zoning code in 2023.
Thanks, Jake.
Yep.
Thanks, Jake. I'm all set, President.
Any other questions from any other councilors? Anything else? All right, so this meeting is.
No.
Oh, we're going into executive session. Yes.
Need a motion to
So moved.
executive session.
Second.
Purposes of legal advice.
Motion. All in favor.
Aye.
Perfect.
Let's go.
Module 38 is.